What's good, everybody? RJ Shelton here, back with another episode of Plain and Simple. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. A wonderful, I guess, for some people that might have had a 5-day break, 4-day break, 3-day break, or maybe even longer. I had a wonderful time when it came to obviously the Thanksgiving break. But hopefully, it was great for you. Hopefully, you had a great time with the family. You know what we do on here. Let's go ahead and get into it here. Our Green Bay Packers went ahead and won on Thanksgiving against the Detroit Lions. They won 31-24. Jordan Love was 18 of 30 from the field, 234 yards, throwing 4 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs had 17 carries for 83 yards. A lot of guys in the wide receiver position scoring, which was huge. We saw Wicks, who had a very big game, a statement game that, like, hey, listen, like, I can still play at a high level. I'm still one of these top guys at this position, especially on my team. And also another weapon to go ahead and create havoc for the defense. He had 6 receptions for 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian Watson had caught a 51-yard bomb that Jordan Love had thrown. He was 4 of 80 with 1 touchdown. And then Romeo Doubs had 4 receptions for 20 yards and 1 TD. I mean, from this alone, we had talked last week, and my good brother Jimmer had said we needed to go ahead and cut Jordan Love loose. We definitely did that. But the way that we were being assertive in getting our guys in position, making plays, this is what we have to do from here on out. Because as we all know, through these previous games that we've seen the inconsistency. If we can go ahead as what we did in this game this past weekend on Thanksgiving, do what we did for the remainder of the year, we will be in a very good position to go ahead and get to where we need to get to. But I want to go ahead and get back here to Jordan Love. I mean, 4 TDs, 18 from 30 from the field. Really should have been a little bit better than that, due to we did have a little bit of drops in that game a little bit, which has got to get tightened up. But he was efficient. I mean, 3rd down, 50%, 6 of 12. 4th down, 3 for 3. If we have him playing like this, there's no reason why we're the best football team in America. And then to get back to our wide receivers at the end of the game to basically close it, you're sitting there like, oh my God, like, we're really about to go for it on 4th down. We normally are, I would say, probably prior coming into this game, maybe not even 50% of conversion on 4th down. You see an unreal throw by Jordan Love and an unreal catch by Wicks to go ahead and close that game out. That right there gave me a sense of, if it ever comes to this point, that we're going to be able to go ahead and capitalize and do what we need to do to go ahead and win ball games. This was an unreal game from the offensive side, but we know we can do this. Are we going to sustain this? And that's the problem. But I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. I love what I saw. Detroit's still a good football team. If you look at it right now, if you saw last weekend's football, when it was just Sunday, realistically, the NFC North to me is damn near the best football conference or football division right now in the NFL. So, unreal performance by the offense. Defense, 352 yards, 119 yards rushing, 233 yards. But it's kind of easy when you go ahead and have a guy by the name of Micah Parsons that's literally goes ahead and does everything you need to do to make the defense look well. 2.5 sacks. I mean, you had Evan Williams filling. We were stopping the run, making it very tough for Gibbs to go ahead and maybe make a big play to get the offense going. Edgerrin Cooper as well for going sideline to sideline. It was good that, he came back because we thought he was probably not going to come back due to injury. We did lose Wyatt, which is tough in the interior. But there's other guys that got to step up and go ahead and fill that role. Rashawn Gary, we're still like, brother, like, what are we doing? Like, we need you here. Like, we really need you. We can't have you not being more than 1 tackle and 1 assist in the stat sheet. Like, we can't have that. But one person that is definitely going ahead and emerging to me, Anabare, is looking very well when he comes in and gets his reps in. He had 1.5 sacks. But he is assertive. He's efficient when he gets in. Lucas Van Ness was in. I think it was against the Vikings. He didn't really play. He was out. But our D-line, other than Micah Parsons, needs to get going. Our secondary, if you look at it, granted, we didn't have any picks. We didn't have any takeaways. Obviously, this was just a Micah Parsons show. But obviously, Keyshawn Nix with 7 tackles. Isaiah McDuffie, along with Edgerrin Cooper, doing what he needs to do. As I said earlier, Williams going ahead and filling gaps is what you saw coming downhill with a purpose. It's a win. Granted, you go ahead and hold a pretty high scoring team to only 24 points at home, 233 yards, 119 yards on the ground, and that 233 was passing. I'll live with that. 0-2 in fourth down for the Lions. That bread and butter is going on fourth down. We stopped him in the critical times when need be. He did what you needed to do. Good win, 8-3-1. Now we go ahead and face the Bears. Bears right now are number 1 in the NFC. They're number 1 in the NFC North. And what better time to go ahead, come to Lambeau, and get a dub? I don't care what you guys want to say about the Bears. Yes, no one likes the Bears. But you got to go ahead and look eye to eye here and be like, all right, like this team is actually for real. And they are for real. You don't go in to Philly and run for over 260 yards on Friday and really kind of put the beat down on them. Like really made them look like they didn't even win a Super Bowl last year. Ben Johnson has that offensive figured out. They got 2 running backs that go ahead and run north and south. Their scheme with Rochar, shout out to Coach Rochar. He was at Michigan State during my recruiting time. He had left to go back into the NFL. So him and Ben Johnson got that offensive line cooking. So you got to take this game serious, as you already should. But this is a serious team at 9-3. Now, you cannot have another situation where you come off a good win and then you go ahead and lose when you come back at home. We did it when we beat the Steelers 40 to whatever, and then we go ahead and take a shit against the Carolina Panthers. We cannot do that. Stop the run. Let Jordan Love did what he did on Thanksgiving. Because I truly believe if you go ahead and stop the run, because the run is the biggest thing that they go ahead, and that's their momentum starter. We need Caleb Williams to throw the football. He needs to have over at least 30 attempts to 35 attempts. This is a game where you have to stop the run, and we are not really good at stopping the run, as you've seen in these past weekends as we've played. But we have got to stop the run. First, second down, because there'll be a time they might run the ball all the way down, maybe one drive. Stop the run. And it's really everyone on the D-line. Like, Micah Parsons can't take plays off. Like, when he's in there, like, this can be another repeat if we play this game again in the playoffs. To be a game in before we go to the Super Bowl, or to go ahead and play wild card. You never know. But this game right here has a lot riding on it. And we need to go ahead and see what guys are going to be those guys. And that goes for everybody that is a Green Bay Packer. Stop the run. And please let Jordan Love do what he needs to do. Because obviously it works. And let's see what guys are going to go ahead and step up and go ahead and show, like, hey, listen, like, we're going to go ahead and we're going all the way. That one's at 325. I might have to try to figure out how I'm going to go to that one, because that's a rivalry that is probably one of the best in the NFL, and it's going to be absolutely rocking in Lambeau Field. 325 this coming Sunday. Can't wait. You already know what's going on, man. Go Pack, go. If you're on here, you know what side I'm on, and that'll never change. Moving on over to our Wisconsin Badgers. They went ahead and lost to the Minnesota Gophers 17-7. Hunter Smith was 12 of 19, 162 yards, 2 interceptions. Dupree had 12 carries for 51 yards. Anthony II had 4 receptions for 92. A little bit skeptical on why we kind of took Carter Smith out the game, but I guess you wanted to throw the ball, which is fine. But I don't know why you wouldn't go ahead, excuse me, and go back to your bread and butter that got you to win games against, Washington, win games against Illinois, running the football, things like that. Like, you were able to go ahead and run the football on this team, and then you decided to go ahead and do something completely different. I don't understand that. I don't know if Carter Smith was injured. I don't know if they were trying to go ahead and save Carter Smith because they don't want him to maybe get in the portal, and there's other teams that are seeing that he can basically be a RPO run to pass guy. It was just very odd for me to see that, Fickell made the move to go ahead and not play Carter Smith when he threw a touchdown. So that was really weird to me. But, this is a time where people are going to go ahead, a.k.a. all these college football teams that are looking for guys to come on over. He's probably definitely getting some people to say, hey, come play over here. I mean, that's just where we are right now. But all in all, 4-8. Fickell's going to be there next year. If we want to go ahead and look at the schedule next year, it's probably not even out next year, clearly because they're in season. But it's going to be to a point where there's going to be a limit on what Coach Fickell, I feel, is going to be on to where, all right, we are completely done with what he's trying to do. Obviously, you have your recruits that are going to be coming in. You saw there was a ton of coaches that went ahead and got fired and got picked up. This is the most critical, I would say, month right now, month to 2 months, to where you got to figure out who you're going to come, recruiting-wise from high school, transfer portal, coaching staff maybe. Guys might be going in and out. How are you going to keep your guys that you got already in the building still with you, still believing in what you're doing? But when they get that all figured out, and if they don't go ahead and go 5-0 next year, 5-0, 4-1, he has to do two of those things. If he doesn't do that, seat's already hot. And I know they believe in him, but you see what happened last weekend on Sunday, where you saw guys, coaches, head coaches that were 6-6, 7-6, getting canned. So, season for the Badgers, I mean, you saw glimpses, 4-8, right? You saw them go ahead, beat Washington at home. They beat Illinois at home. But all the other, games, they stayed within it. But it's those second half of the season where you played Washington and, those last 4 games or whatever you want to call it, you're seeing that Carter Smith was the guy. And wholeheartedly, I think going back to talking about Minnesota game, he should have been playing. It was really dumbfounding to me that he wasn't in there. But that's your number one guy going in next year. I don't care what anyone says. You need to go ahead and make sure that he's quarterback number one and that he goes absolutely nowhere. So you're going to see the news of, guys, portal, signing, guys already on the team, what they're going to do. But it's do or die next year. You have to make a bowl game next year. There's no excuses. Like, I know there was a whole bunch of, opportunities, I guess, in the beginning for you to win ball games. Now there's no excuse. You can't do this 3 years in a row or however long you've been here. So we shall see how that goes. Moving on over to the Bucks. Been quite tough this past weekend. Losing to the Miami Heat and then losing to the Knicks. That Knicks game was a little bit iffy with just how refs were. It's just crazy, kind of what Giannis Antetokounmpo has to go through. But he did go ahead and bounce back against the Nets. And we do have Kevin Porter Jr. back, which is huge. He is definitely a big piece to this puzzle for the Milwaukee Bucks. They won that one 116-99. And then this week we have the Wizards, the Pistons, the 76ers, and then the weekend there we have the Pistons. So hopefully we can go ahead and go above 500 there. If not 500, just keep chipping away. Right now, standings-wise, we're at 11th in the Eastern Conference. We're 9-2. We were, like I said earlier, we were 2 of 8 in the last 10 games, which is very bad. But we got back on the board with a dub, so hopefully kind of go ahead and go on a win streak there. And then last but not least here, both of our college teams here in the state of Wisconsin for men's. Badger basketball right now, they go ahead and face Northwestern. And then we got the highway battle or whatever they call it. They got the one against Marquette, and that's vice versa for Marquette as well. And then before they go ahead and face Wisconsin, they face Valparaiso this week as well. So Badger men's right now, they are 14th in the Big Ten. Marquette Golden Eagles are 10th in the Big East. A lot of basketball, but like I said, I will stand firm on both these programs being at least top 5, if not top 3 in their conference. So appreciate you always checking in, listening. Big week and weekend for all sports here in the Wisconsin area. You already know what we do on here. You know I got my people that come on here and we talk our bull jive. You guys have a wonderful week, wonderful weekend whenever you do hear this. Appreciate you a ton. Peace out.